really different background. I graduated with a computer science degree. I still work in the computer science field, but I was able to take this opportunity, learn how to trade through this amazing platform that we have. And now I'm able to teach other people, which is incredible because teaching was always one of my goals in my life. I never knew it would come in this form, but that's how life is, guys. Like, you expect things to turn up in your life and you get these opportunities and you got to make the most of it, right? So I'm so glad I'm able to, teach GC on a grand level. And I thought I'd share my knowledge a little bit today. So let me just share my screen. All right. Everyone can see my screen. Cool. Awesome. So today we'll be talking a little bit about the power of investing and trading. We'll be talking about the trading side, and we'll be talking about, the business side as well, and how it kind of comes hand in hand, right? So let's get into it. So give me a 1 in the chat if you think you're currently a beginner trader. If you consider yourself a beginner trader, let me know by a 1 in the chat. If not, let me know by a 2 in the chat. So if you think a little bit more advanced, then you can put a 2. Okay, so I see a lot of 1s. Awesome. Perfect. So I think this presentation will be perfect for you guys because I'll be sharing some of my tips that I've been able to use that have worked for me and how it can potentially work for you too. Right. So I've created a little plan for you guys that you can choose to follow. It's worked for me in terms of the investing and trading side of this platform. Right. So this is a 3-step process that I created. So if you're someone who considers yourself a introductory or a new trader, beginner trader, right? This is a process that I've been able to follow. Right now, when it comes to trading, guys, the biggest thing, the most important thing is to have a proper trading plan. Right now, what do I mean by a trading plan? A trading plan covers everything from A to Z in how much money you're going to invest for either investing long-term or trading short-term, and how would you kind of go about using that initial investment over a period of time, right? Now, when we're talking a period of time, I like to think of it in a monthly time span, right? So I have a trading plan that I follow on a monthly basis, right? Now, before we even formulate a trading plan, what I suggest you guys is to, if you haven't done already, is go through your iGenius back office and get started with literally one of the first videos you guys should have watched, right? So if you haven't watched the getting started videos, these are the 4 videos that I suggest like getting started, right? It'll talk about risk management. It'll talk about how to get started with trading, what kind of mindset you got to have, some best practices, right? So this is one of the first things that I suggest to get started right now. Once you kind of have done that and you're already part of our platform and you're like, okay, I'm ready to get started, or I've already started, but I really don't have a format to follow, right? A step-by-step process, right? So the first thing you got to do is decide the amount of money you're willing to invest in your different trading accounts. Right now, when we're talking about trading accounts, right, that could be your foreign exchange account, your forex account, your binary account, your crypto account, or your stocks account, right? Or two of the four, one of the four, whatever you're kind of ready to get started with, right? Now, once you kind of decided that, hey, let's say I want to get into the forex and binary markets, right? Decide on the amount that you're willing to put in, right? Now, how do you decide the amount? Now, the best way I like to think of it is whatever amount you put into trading, guys, let's see, worst come worst scenario, if you lose all of it, would you still have food on the table? Would you still have shelter above your house, right? That is really important, guys, because what happens is many people that start trading, they're like, okay, the more I put in, the more I'm going to see results. It's not how it works, guys. There are seasons that all these markets follow, and there are going to be down seasons, right? One of which is going on right now in the crypto space, if you guys have noticed. But you really gotta put in money that you're willing to lose, assuming the worst case worst scenario. Right now, we try to avoid the worst case scenario because we have, people who have been analyzing these markets in these situations and are able to still find ways to be profitable, right? Now, just because that's the case doesn't mean that, we're going to win every single trade, right? So it's a seasonal decision that you kind of have to make, and make sure the money is something that you're willing to fully risk. Now, when we're thinking about plan, right? So now what does that include in plan? So we talked about getting started with the initial amount that you're willing to invest in each of your accounts, right? Now, once you kind of do that, you kind of have to have an end goal, right? And like I said, I like to follow a monthly pattern, right? So what you can do is, especially if you're someone who's newly started and you're like, okay, like, what does he mean by this whole plan thing, right? What you can do is actually sit down with your mentor or your coach and be like, hey, this is the amount of money I'm hoping to make during this current month. This is the amount I'm willing to invest. Do you think this is possible, right? And I'm sure your coach would have it, or mentor would have an answer. If they don't, you can always reach out to me. I'm always open to DMs on Telegram, right? So now, once you kind of create a plan with your mentor and coach, and that includes amount of money invested, how much you're expecting out of that month, right? And how much are you, like, let's say if things go bad during the month, when are you deciding to be like, okay, I'm done for this month. I had a certain goal, but I wasn't able to reach it. This is a good time to, just be like, okay, this is it for this month. I'll regroup and start again next month, right? So those are some of the things that you got to plan and discuss, especially when you're getting started, right? Now, another thing I like to kind of keep in mind to track all of this is I create an Excel sheet for myself, right? And I create this for every single account that I have, right? So let's say I have a binary account funded with, let's say $250, right? Now, it's a really simple spreadsheet. At the start of the month, I have initial balance, right? 250. In my second column, I have my projected profits, right? Let's say I want to grow my account by, let's say $50 for the month, right? So I'll say my projected profit will be $50. And then at the end of the month, on the 31st or the 30th, I actually write down the actual amount that I was able to reach, right? And then I just do like a simple percentage calculation to see how much I've grown my account, right? Now, obviously, the goal is to have positive growth every month, right? Can't guarantee that's going to happen every month, but with the alerts and everything that we have, we do end up being more profitable than we are, over the longer time span. So that's something I like to do. Create a simple Excel sheet to track all of that, right? Now, an incentive for yourself, right? What you can do is reward yourself with withdrawals, right? Now, what happens is people kind of grow their account. I've noticed people grow their account, and this happened to me. And then they're like, okay, let me start risking more, right? And then everything that they did in the previous month comes back to zero. And then they're like, okay, this is not working for me, right? So what I do suggest is once you kind of reach your goal, right, for the month, incentivize yourself and be like, okay, this was my goal, and the whole end goal is to be profitable, right? So I'm going to withdraw some money that I'll be able to use for anything else, right? So this is my profits that I'm working with. Then I continue back with, whatever I have left for the next month, right? So that's something that's really worked for me, incentivizing myself at the end of the month, right? Now, the second thing, guys, to remember is you got to decide whether you're just going to be a trader or you also want to build the business, right? Now, we just hopped off a call that Christian was talking about, and Afnan talked a lot about this, and she said that how you can actually use the business itself to fund your trading accounts, right? Now, a lot of people who get started, including me, I was only ready to get started with a $100 trading account, right? And I'm sure that must be the case for a lot of you guys. But what this platform allows you, the business side of the platform allows you, it helps you kind of, potentially fund your accounts, right? And you can start with a higher account balance as you kind of start building your team and building the business side of things, right? So if you're someone who's like, okay, I do want to invest more, but I don't have the capital for it, the business option is a great way to get started because that will reward you, and then you can reuse that money, recycle it back into your trading accounts, right? Now, if you're losing that money, I don't think it'll be that big of a deal if you're losing the money that you're making for, let's say your 9-to-5 job, right? Because your 9-to-5 job is what's keeping the food on the table, supporting your family. So I do understand when you're putting your own money and you're like, okay, this month wasn't so good, right? But you can leverage the business side of things to have that extra income and then put it back into your trading account. And guys, step 3 is something that a lot of people forget. You gotta kind of follow and determine what are the best performing channels, right? Or what are the channels that work the best for you during, let's say your downtime when you're able to trade, etc. Right? Now, I don't know if you guys know, we actually have a channel within iGenius that tells you the performance of every single channel that you have access to determining your package, right? And it actually shows you the performance of all of these channels, right? So over here, you can see the binary channels breakdown, the Forex channel breakdown, and it shows you which ones have been profitable, etc. Right? Now, obviously, as it says, past performance does not indicate future results. But what you can do is actually look at all the months prior to, let's say, August, right? And be like, okay, overall, which channel do I think has been performing well, right? Now, let's say you enjoy binary trading, right? So something like the alpha channel would be, over time, a really good performing channel for you, right? If you enjoy Forex trading, then the IOTA channel would be really good for you, right? Or if you're on the elite package, we know the GC Pips channel is amazing. It's been restarted again with a few alerts that came out that have been really profitable. So some of those channels that are also profitable, right? So keep track of the performance of these channels, so you're not taking like every single trade, right? The goal is not to take every single trade. The goal is to take the right trades, and that's how you stay profitable. Now, one thing that I really helped me kind of organize myself, at least when it comes to trading, is I'd like to share my Telegram screen here, is kind of organizing your channels, right? So you guys can, if you guys haven't already done this, you can see all my channels are pretty much organized in folders, right? So I have one folder for Forex, one for binary, one for crypto, etc., right? One for all the GC stuff, any DMs, right? So I like to be very organized. That way I can keep track of what channels belong to what market, right? And within each channel, I also like to pin my favorite channels, right? So over here, you can see in my Forex folder, I've pinned these 5 channels, right? That in my opinion, are the most profitable channels that are out there, right? For binary, I've pinned GC Nitro, I've pinned the alpha channels. These are the 2 that I personally use, right? So you can do these little simple things to make your life easier and start making use of the right signals. Okay, so now this is where you kind of have to make the decision whether you're gonna build a business as well or not, right? So are you gonna be someone who's gonna take the signals, or would you also learn the trade, right? So what do I mean by that, right? So in my opinion, the 9 months that I've been in this business, what I see so far is to really build and excel in this network marketing business, you gotta become either a master marketer. Again, this is my opinion, right? Either become a master marketer or you become a master of the products, right? Now, how do you become a master of the products is through trading and investing and doing this on an ongoing basis, right? Now, I'll be honest, for me, the first one, I'm not the best at it, right? Like my strength, in my opinion, is the second one, right? Which is what I'll be talking more about today. So how do you become a master of the products, right? So this is a 7-step process I've created. First of all, make things really simple, right? Pick your favorite financial market. So that could be, the binary market, the Forex market, crypto market, whatever you like the most, whatever you enjoy, pick that, right? And then follow that up with joining every single live trading session during the week, right? And repeat this for 2 to 3 months, right? Now I did this over a process of 6 to 7 months, but and again, I was like skipping some days, but if you really like are onto it, you can kind of squeeze it in a smaller time frame, and within 2 to 3 months, you can really start getting an idea of how these markets really work, right? So join every single live trading session, right? Let's say, for example, you're interested in the buying market, right? So Devin hosts sessions every single day. Every single session, join it, right? And now, if you're someone who's going to be taking signals and you don't want to learn the trade, then step 3 doesn't really apply to you. This whole process doesn't apply to you, right? But if you are someone who's like, okay, I want to learn how to trade, right? So I can leverage this to build my business, right? So pay attention to the strategies that are explained in the video, right? And take notes. Obviously, not everything is going to make sense within the first week, maybe not even the first couple weeks, but eventually things will start making sense. You'll start seeing patterns, which is what happened for me, right? And then practice the same strategies in your free time, right? Do this for a couple weeks on a demo account, and then you can hop on to an actual account and apply the strategy on your live account, right? Obviously with proper risk management and everything. And obviously once you think you're ready, right? Now, once you kind of finish the first 5 steps, the next 2 steps, in my opinion, is how you can kind of leverage your trading knowledge into building your business, right? So once you start what I suggest is you start doing live trading sessions with your team or the team that you're part of, right? So let's say you don't have any members in your team currently. You're already part of GCC, right? Like you have like a smaller group that you're part of, right? What we've done, GCA particularly, we actually used to host weekly sessions, weekly binary sessions, right? Where a bunch of us came together and we're like, okay, let's trade together. Everyone dropped in ideas. We kind of like, okay, do we like this idea? Do we not like this idea, right? So that way you kind of get to see different people's perspective. You get to learn how other people see your perspective, and you can start trading at a higher frequency. And once you kind of start doing that, I suggest start recording your content from these live sessions, right? Record the content from these live sessions and tag all your members in an Insta post, for example, and an Instagram post, right? Now, once you kind of do this, and it's not a one-time thing, you got to repeat this, weekly basis, every other day, repeat it over and over again. And what I've noticed through my experience is this is what's allowed me to leverage the trading side into my business as well, right? This 0.6 and 7 is what really helped me. So initially when I started out, like people were like nothing was like, people were seeing my stories and everything, but no one was like, okay, whatever. By as soon as I started doing it on a consistent basis, people were interested and they're like, what are you doing over here? Like, I want to learn more, right? I've seen you've been doing this on a consistent basis, because people see, guys, and people want to see consistency. So you can really leverage your trading side of things by being consistent this way. And yeah, as I kind of mentioned, the end goal is to leverage your trading success and your team that you're trading with to attract leads. And using steps 6 and 7, in my opinion, that's how you can do it in one way. Having said that, kind of covers everything I wanted to talk about in this session. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop it in chat. I'd love to answer them. But if not, I'd like to pass it back to you, Christian. And thank you again.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna give y'all 60 seconds to ask a question. You can ask now, or they say forever hold your peace. Well, not really, because you guys know that you can message him and drop it in the chats if you guys have any questions. But I just want to give a massive thank you to Aabid for doing this. I really liked that. It was a really cool. I like your approach to everything, and I love the breakdown and that. You're putting slides up. I always love people that put slides, because it just, adds that visual, right? So you can tell who's in school or who finished, or who went through school.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So I actually want to ask you one question, and then we can end off on that. So with I always say the two biggest sins when it comes to investing and trading is getting emotional and getting greedy,
Mhm.
right? Do you have maybe perhaps like a story that you can share, or like of yourself or maybe other people or traders that you know of that maybe like that's the reason why a lot of people blow accounts and end up leaving, the thing because they think it
Absolutely.
doesn't work,
Yeah.
but it's not actually the alerts that don't work or trading that doesn't work. It's just, they let their emotions get to them. So how would you address that?
Yeah, guys. That's a great question because like I have direct experience with that. When I first joined iGenius, guys, the first month, I'm not even kidding, every single signal was a profitable signal, right? Now I was like, I was completely new to this, and I'm like, oh my God, dude, this is like amazing. I can make so much money, right? I grew my account from $100 to $400 within 2 weeks of being an iGenius. And then I was like, every signal is going to be profitable. Let me put in higher lot sizes. And I sunk that $400 account back to 20 bucks. A $400 account to 20 bucks within the next 2 weeks, right? Now, not because every signal was a losing signal, just because I was putting like lot sizes of 0.4 and 0.5. But yeah, like when you get greedy, guys, like that's what happens. When you start to see successful signals, make sure you still stick to your original strategy, because when you try to fight the market could fight you back. Yeah, that's my
100%.
experience.
No,
Yeah.
I really like that. You hit the nail on the head with that. So a lot of you are just starting off trading, and investing, and this mentality is something you got to keep with you, to see a lot of success in that. But that's pretty much it, man. Again, I appreciate you for hopping on this and all of you for tuning in and, dedicating some time to really invest into your skill sets. So like I say all the time, every Tuesday, 7 p.m., you guys know what call we're doing, for all my people that are focused on the investing. So with that being said, I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. Have a good rest of your night. Let's get some wins. Peace.